Welcome back to Claymore Anime Review Part 5. No, 6. Part 6. This one covering the last 2 episodes of the series, and most of these last 2 episodes is mostly filled. There's a little bit in episode 26 that does adapt from the manga, though it does change location. But these episodes are simply this: Claire versus Priscilla at a volcano. And this takes to the last 2 episodes of the series. These two fighting. Rocky, of course, taking a while to get there, to where Claire is, and everybody else simply getting there as quickly as they can. And Claire and Priscilla fight for a good period of time. Priscilla has no idea that Claire is the little girl who actually witnessed or killed Teresa several years prior to the events of the series. Yeah, she doesn't know, and I don't think she freaking cares. That's Priscilla for you. And then all of a sudden during the fight, she grows bigger than normally she looks. She grows to be a giant. Oh yeah, they say, oh yeah, this is the true awakened form of Priscilla. Okay. In the case of Claire, she does finally spout her freaking blades, stuff that was missing from the previous episodes. Why in the world they decided to save for here, I have no idea. It's one of the most strangest things. Yes, and they fight for a good period of time, and the fight is eventually stopped by Rocky, who admits to Claire that he loves her. Yep, he does admit this. I don't remember him actually saying this in the manga, but I guess in the anime I figured though, why not? And it kind of slowly brings her back, and then eventually thanks to Jean, she's able... Now, the whole stuff with Jean in the final episode of the series, that's pulled directly from Chapter 60, except... Here's the thing. Her actions in this episode are exactly the same as they're presented in the actual chapter itself. The only thing they change here is location and who was witnessing this. Because in the manga, Rocky and Priscilla were not here. Not even Igsley, who was revealed to be the true Silver King. Okay? Yeah, those characters were not here. Yeah, what they did is they did kind of adapt Chapter 60, but all they did was just change location. I thought this was kind of weird. And it's like, okay, it's like we adapt like partially this at the end of episode 24. And then what happened next when you have Jean stopping Helen from trying to kill Claire? Yeah, they kind of moved that here. But except that Jean just steps in and basically helps Claire go back from being the sort of awakening and goes back to normal and ends up killing Jean. Yep, kills her. And Priscilla basically eventually turns back to normal, and Igsley comes in, says, I lost my appetite after watching this awesome battle for violence. Takes Priscilla away, and that's the last to see of her. Bye-bye, Priscilla. Despite the fact in the manga, Claire actually does kill her. Yeah, she does die in the manga. Yeah, here she just survives. Okay? And then we have Maria, Helen, and Desiree basically just leave the mountain, perfectly fine. And these 3 ladies decided not to rejoin the organization. They decided to go separate ways. Though Helen does shop with Desiree because they're best friends. Galatea does appear in these last 2 episodes, and she does absolutely nothing. She is ordered not to interfere. Yeah. The reason, now, they don't really state the reason why, but her order is simply this: do not interfere. If you interfere, you consider you have betrayed the organization. I'm like... Yeah, the people who run the organization in the series, the Claymore, they're utter morons, these guys. We've seen them in only like 1 episode, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though if Claire, basically, if she met these guys in person, and she got tired of the bull, I'd probably end up killing all of them. Her or probably one of the other members, one of the other Claymores. Claire, of course, decides not to go back to the organization, just travels with Rocky. Does she go visit Elena? Nope, she doesn't do that. She goes, oh, go back traveling with him. And they probably go off retired, have a happy life together. It's similar to how these two going off together, that is similar to what the end of the actual manga itself. But that wasn't published until 7 years after this anime ended. Yeah, the manga basically concluded 6 years ago. Yes. There may have been a couple reasons why they decided to end when they did. 1, they ran out of source material, or 2, I think the series may have suffered through low ratings. At least they actually completed the dub. despite how short the series was. Now, these last 2 episodes were okay. I think this fight between Claire and Priscilla at this point, in my opinion, it was well done. I got hands to the animator. It's well done. I kind of felt as though at this point, this was completely unnecessary to happen. Yeah, this was unnecessary. Why this was put here, I have no idea. Why certain things were altered for the last couple episodes. Yeah, why was it that the blade thing, which was actually presented in chapter 58, in chapter 58, that's where it was first introduced, and the blade she uses to basically slice the Lion King. That's what they call him. Yes, in the anime, it's presented as her using her sword, basically using her quicksword ability to hack him to pieces. Now, how he is sliced to pieces, that's the same how he's killed in the manga, except the shield with the blades in her back, not the blade in her hand. Unknown why they changed that for and why they move certain things to later. Unknown why. But I kind of felt very much disappointed. I kind of knew. I already knew that they were going to deviate from the manga, but not like this. Yes. The fight was unnecessary, but it was done really well. I thought the fight was really good. The only thing about the fight, aside from the fact the fight wasn't necessary, was the fact that Priscilla grew giant size. I thought that was kind of weird. Another problem with the fight is having her, basically the blades come out at this point was not a good idea. And having Jean, now moving the Jean scene here was weird. Yeah, so you can kind of say the anime did pretty much adapt kind of up to chapter 60. That's as pretty much they far got with the anime. How much more how many, like, if you kind of think of it, like, how much more the manga was left to adapt as of right now? If you think about it, because they kind of adapted chapter 60, so they kind of changed location with it, there's roughly like 95 chapters left. That's good enough for another season for the anime. Good so. Final thoughts on the anime? I would say most of the anime is actually really good. I did read a little synopsis. Basically, someone critiqued of it. They thought the pacing was not very good. I thought the pacing was fine. I thought it was handled really well. There's only a few slight things with the series that some people may not like. Take for example the fact that in just a few episodes they adapt like a dozen chapters. Yeah, they probably have like 3 or 4 chapters per episode. They probably do it at first, but my guess is the reason why they decided to slow down for the last few episodes, and this is just my theory of why in the world this happened. They probably were running out of source material. That's just my personal guess. And it's something though, the fact they adapted for the last 9 episodes of the series, where they adapted like roughly like 11 chapters in just 9 episodes, which that's okay. Not much of a problem there. It just basically, some people probably would think they rushed to it. Not really, no. If you look up basically presenting the manga compared to the anime, like a single like handful of pages can easily be like a few minutes. Excuse me. Yes, I would definitely say that the anime is mostly good up until it defeats the manga. Yep, but it's a good series. I would definitely say that I would say these following things are really good about the series. The animation is fantastic. I think the voice performances and all the characters are actually really damn good. The fight scenes are done really well in here, and well, I'd say the only weakness of the series is the last few episodes of writing. Yes. Now these following voice actors, I kind of felt as though they did a great job with what they were given. This I think one of them really didn't the way her accent is really doesn't fit basically how this era is presented. It's good for other characters she's voiced, but not the specific one. These following voice actors, I think did a great job with the series. Stephanie Young, probably for me, this is the first anime I've actually seen where she voices the lead character. I gotta hand it to her. She did a fantastic job with this character. I think like the last series I heard her voice in was My Bride is a Mermaid. That was probably like the last one I heard her voice in. Did an absolute great job. Todd Heppercorn, I think he did a pretty decent job, basically what he was given. Caitlin Glass, I think she voiced Denevere, I think it was. I think she voiced one. Yeah, she does a really good job. The one who accent really didn't fit the character was Jamie Marchetti. She voices the character Helen. Okay, like the way that her accent is, she's like basically like a valley girl, and giving it to a warrior made absolutely no freaking sense at all. But performance-wise, I think it was good. I think the only weakness is if you listen to anime, like how the voice, like you're probably thinking, why in the world does a warrior from an yeah, and in case you're wondering about where this world takes place, the whole world is basically an island. I am not kidding about that. And like it's kind of weird with this whole medieval setting, and we have a character who's got a Valagar accent. Yeah, it probably does make sense for a lot of people, but it's okay. I don't have a really big problem with it. And I think she did a good job, basically, was given. Lucia Christian, oh my gosh, she did a great job voicing Ophelia. And her voicing a character who's got like a snake-like motif suits her. She voiced Medusa from Soul Eater, so I don't see why not. She could do the series. Absolutely fantastic job. She only appeared, I mean, yes, it's not surprising her character only appeared for a few episodes, because that's how much she appeared in the manga. Only appeared for a handful of chapters because she got killed off. Yeah, she got off really quickly. Now, what about Colleen Clickenbeard? Well, with the exception of one arc, her character was mostly there just to be the observer. Her character really didn't do very much in the series at all. I'd say performance-wise, Colleen Clickenbeard did a good job with the character, but anybody can tell by watching this series, Galatea was pretty much a useless character. She contributed to one story arc. Yes, it was a story arc just before this. It was the introduction of the Abyssal Ones arc. That's where she appeared in, and she did somewhat. She did a pretty good job. And now it was the only arc she felt. If you watch the anime, that's the only arc you could probably think of that she does appear in where she actually is helpful to the plot. Rest of the time, she is there just to stand around and give commentary. That was the simple gist of it when it comes to that. I thought it was quite strange though. I probably think even the manga thought this was kind of weird. Like you bring in people like Christopher Sabat and Eric Vale, the voice characters who appear for 2 episodes, 2 big names for 2 episodes. Well, there kind of is a reason for that. Now I don't know who voices the guy with the glasses in the series. I don't really remember who he voices. I don't think it's John Sweeney. No, I don't remember who voices him. But yeah. Series is good up until the last few episodes of the series. And what is my next series I'm going to do? Cautious Hero. Yep, a series that Jay Marcelli is in, and the way her accent is, it does fit the character she's voicing the series. And this is the most recent series that she's actually been in. Oh, and fun fact, this series is the 25th series I've heard her voice in. For Colleen Clickenbeard, this is the 22nd. For Stephanie Young, I believe this is her. Let's see if I can find it here. For Eric Vale, this is his 21st. Christopher Sabat, 24th. Let's see if I can find it here. Stephanie Young, here we go. For her, this is the 11th series I've heard of it. Yeah. Oh, in case you're wondering who voiced Claire when she was younger, it's Carmen Lee, who's known voicing Lucy from Fairy Tail. Yep. And for her, this is the 12th series I've heard her in. Yeah, 12th. Which you gotta handle it. It's actually pretty good. Yep. I mean, it's like everybody else, basically like a good number. Peppercorn, this is the 22nd for him. Because the last series I heard him in prior to this one was Asakusa of a Rogue Hero. Yeah, that was by far the last non-official series I actually heard him in. Yeah, that was the last official one. So it's been a little while since I've heard his voice anything. I don't think he appears next series I'm gonna watch, which is basically gonna be Cautious Zero. I don't think he appears there, but it's always great to hear Todd Eppicorn's voice. And surprisingly, the character is not the main character of the series. No, not really. I'm thinking, really? Like, you bring in someone like Todd Eppicorn, and his character his character didn't really do very much over the course of the series. It's not until like the last arc his character actually does something. I mean, the Philly arc, the most interesting thing happened with him. He appeared in the first episode of that arc, and then like the rest of the series, he basically spent time looking for Claire. I mean, the most interesting thing you could say happened to Rocky in this series was the fact he got to make out with a smoking hot woman like Claire. Yeah, Claire is beautiful, and I think that was fantastic. They kept in that little moment from the manga when these two made out. But the thing is, in the manga, this is barely brought up, but it's a shocking moment to see Claire making out with the guy she's been hanging out with for a good small. Now, if you just read if you watch the anime, like, okay, she met this guy back in episode 1, and like 11 episodes later, they're making out. You get something like this usually saved like toward the end of the series, not like halfway through the series run. Yeah, but this happened now. Basically, that was some like chapter like 37. Yeah, so they've been hanging out for quite a while. So there's that. But all in all, good series up until the last few episodes. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. I might have time to do another video today if I get a chance to get done. And that'll be my first review for Dragon Ball GT. Yes, they will be discussing this series. I watched the first episode already today, and I can't wait to watch the rest, okay? See you next video. Bye.